Hey, this is Mark Maupin, and I'm on with Jeff Dameron. We want to welcome you to this. Actually, it'll be a very short meeting, but it's full of a ton of information. It'll run about 30 minutes max. And I know that there's a lot of real estate investors, a lot of real estate agents, because a lot of the meetup people come. I'm going to give you a really quick resource that is available to you, and that's this YouTube channel I've got. If you just do a Google and YouTube for Mark Maupin YouTube channel, you'll find it. And if you go there, there's tons and tons and tons of videos, and it's pretty much about anything you want. If you want something on find, fix, and sell, or how to do a subcontractor agreement, or what kinds of insurance you need, just go to the search button and then type in whatever you're looking for. Like earlier, we were on with Carla and we did a search for wholesaling. Because if you want to learn that game, you can just do a search. And then what it does is it pulls up all the wholesaling videos, and there's tons of them. There's workshops. There's just an unbelievable amount of information. A lot of the videos might go 40 minutes. Some of them are 20, some of them are 5 minutes. There's a lot of tips in there. It's how to generate leads, how to find, get your buyers list. Just so what I'm saying is it's a very good resource. I recommend going there. Also, I'm going to show our contact information. If you guys are listening and you've got any questions, I'll leave this up as much as I can. Jeff is on with me, and that's my name. A little bit about me. I've bought and sold about 3,500 properties. I got out of the real estate game for a while. At one point in my life, I had 350 rentals. I was a note buyer. I got into internet marketing, and I handled internet marketing for 7 national franchises, not all at the same time. And I still handle internet marketing for a lot of service related businesses that go to the customers. And so that's a little bit of my background. Today I do a little wholesaling. I'm a licensed real estate agent. Probably got about 19 or 20 listings with my partner. And we've completed 2 rehab jobs this year. They've turned out really well. We're getting ready to start working our 3rd one. And I still run all the internet business. So I'm pretty much a workaholic. So that's about me. And I'm on with Jeff. Jeff is real similar. He's a pretty busy guy too. Jeff, I'll let you talk about a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, well, thanks, Mark. And I met Mark over 20 years ago. He was my first real estate mentor and kind of got me into that. I was worked in the automotive industry, worked for General Motors, and then in 2012 I got into real estate investing full time. I also had a big Amazon business, so I was also on the internet. But I started doing foreclosure sales and then helping folks in foreclosure, and did many rehabs and had rentals and all that. And then I would say about a year and a half or so, I moved from Michigan to the mountains of Northeast Tennessee to kind of get off grid a little bit in the process of writing a book. And but during that time frame, I got involved with the employee retention credit, and helped bring in with my company over $40 million in refunds for the companies. And so helped a lot of businesses, a lot of nonprofits. And we're going to be sharing some great information tonight for a real estate agent, investor, entrepreneur, small business owner. It doesn't matter. We have something that more than likely will help the individual or business in some form or fashion. So with that, back to you, Mark.
Well, I've probably covered everything, so we probably should just jump right into it. We've got a bunch of programs to go over that
Why
benefit.
don't you start with your story on the ERC, and then I'll expound on it.
Well, I've promoted its earned retention credits that came through the CARES Act. But to give you an example, a lot of people think that you can't get it and you got to be this big company or something. But basically, originally everybody was getting payroll protection. And then during the Biden administration, they changed it to where you could get both payroll protection and you could also get earned retention credits. And so like my wife and I have a company and there's just the both of us in it. So, but we qualified for just, and we're basically, it's just her income. We ended up with a company, we qualified for a $20,000 tax grant. And so that was really good. We're involved with a charity that's just got a couple of people too. And the same thing happened there. We qualified for $20,000. But some of the companies, like it averages out to about $10,000 per employee. So if you've got 100 employees, that's $1 million coming back to you. And it's the company that gets that. And then because I'm a real estate agent and I had some commission income and I had some houses, I end up qualifying for the second program Jeff's going to talk about tonight, which was if you're self-employed, you can get more money back that's in the form of a grant. So those are the two programs. Jeff's a way bigger expert than me, but I've ended up benefiting by both of the programs. And then the companies Jeff's going to talk about is like, I know that Carla is a tax preparer. She's on, so the people that she's helping, she could make a lot of money just making a difference for people, introducing them to this program. So I know, like when I've gone out on my house sales where I'm meeting new people, I met a contractor, I've got him going through it. I've got a partner that's going to get back 32,000 and this, or 30 something with the self-employment grant program. So Jeff, I'll let you get into details.
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Mark. And we obviously want to emphasize that, we do this ourselves too, like we run ourselves through it and make sure everything works, everything that's applicable to us. So for the employee retention credit, as Mark said, that's part of the CARES Act. Originally, it was the PPP or the ERC, employee retention credit. When the new administration came in, there was a allowance for both. And so we have about, I would say just under 2 years left before this program ends. And so what we're saying to folks is if you had, even one or two W-2 employees, let us take a free look for you and we'll see if we can help you in that arena. So the date of the final filing is like March, April of 2025, but we're saying you should really get in everything by April of 2024. And the reason for that is by April of 2024, the 2020 potential for a credit refund goes away. So there's a time element on this. And with 25 million or more small business owners or nonprofits, there's probably only been, and I'm estimating, probably only 35% of those folks have actually applied for it. There's a lot of misinformation on the internet. So we're aligned with a company that is, has integrity and full transparency, and it has a great track record, and will quickly help determine if this is something that is a good fit for a business owner or nonprofit. So and currently if you Googled where it's at, the IRS has put a brief pause just for the next 6-7 weeks for the end of the year, and then they're going to resume first quarter of next year. So we are still encouraging folks to, take a look at it. The second program applies for the 1099 employee or business owner. And as Mark stated, it stands for the self-employed tax credit. Now, what's
So,
interesting about
so
this is
Jeff,
this is a
we got a few more people that came on. If any of you guys are self-employed, you're a realtor, you're a contractor, or you know people like that, this is a huge thing for them because most people don't know this exists, and it's grant money. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Just
No,
wanted to.
no, that's great. Thanks for bringing it up. And, the recording will be available if anyone missed the first part. We've only been on for like, talking about 7, 8 minutes. So self-employed tax credit is wonderful for real estate investors, real estate agents, anyone that's self-employed, Uber drivers, Lyft, any type of service industry. And really, it's a self-attestation model, meaning that to the best of our knowledge, you're not required to prove that, there was a hardship caused by COVID. I think everybody can say without a shadow of a doubt, in some form or fashion, the COVID pandemic affected their business or what they were doing at that time. So it's a brief survey that you fill out, and what they're going to be looking for is your income from 2019, 2020, and 2021. It's a real simple process. And as Mark mentioned earlier, you can get up to $32,000
Yeah,
of.
it takes less than 5 minutes. They actually have an estimator. So like if you go to this site here, uh it's a website, www.1099grant.com, 1099grant.com. You go on there, then you can fill out the estimator. It'll give you an estimate of what you'll get back. And then the process is really simple. All I had to do is I had to give them a copy of my driver's license and upload my 3 years tax returns, Jeff. And they're doing all the rest. And they're actually, since you have to do an amended tax return, and they do that too. So
Yeah,
any
and along those lines, to finish the thought, Mark,
yeah.
the way they have it set up is that, you're not coming out of pocket. So once you receive your actual refund check, or, wire, or however it comes, then at that point you can pay them their fee, and it's a reasonable amount. So
Yeah.
anyway, so it's a
Well,
nice.
if you know somebody's a tax preparer, who I know one of the people on here tonight is, the people coming in, if they're self-employed, they're gonna be loving you, because now you can show them how to get back a good chunk of money and just spend a few minutes doing it. And not only
Yeah.
that, if you want to go down and sign up, you can do exactly what I'm doing. Here's another one. You can go to Self-Employment Grant Advisor, and you can sign up to do this. So
Yeah, it's
it's
a it's a great it's an affiliate link, and so it's a great side hustle. There was a question in the chat. So both the ERC, employee retention credit for a business owner with W-2 employees, and the self-employed tax credit, 1099 employee or business owner, this applies to the time period of 2020 and 2021. For the ERC, the business owner would have had to be in business operational by February 15th of 2020. Okay. There's some other variations on that, but that's pretty much the time frame that we're talking about.
so I know in
So
the self-employment one, you can see your money within what, like a month and a half, roughly, right?
yes, exactly.
And
Yep.
where with the ERC, it takes longer. But if you want to talk to Jeff, there are companies that will uh, discount out your position so you can get back like 70% of it right away. So
Yeah,
and
yeah. There's mechanisms in place where, if on the ERC specifically, if a company doesn't want to wait the 6 to 8 months to get their refund, there's mechanisms in place. They could take a slight discount and get it much quicker. So that would allow them to, have utilization of the funds and put them in place for whatever they're looking to do. So,
So
and
if
so
you,
those, go ahead, Mark.
so if you, it roughly works out to be with both companies, it averages out to be about $10,000 per employee. So
Yep.
if you've got 50 employees, it's $500,000. If you've got 10 employees, it's $100,000 coming back your way. And it goes to the actual employer. And the self employment grant, the one that's at 1099grant.com, that's going to come straight back to you if you're self-employed. So there's something there for pretty much everybody.
Absolutely. And the third thing we're going to talk about applies to everybody. It applies to business owners, nonprofits, individuals, families, and I'm going to share my screen here. Mark,
I
do
think
I
I
have?
gotta stop sharing mine. Hang on.
Okay, yeah. Uh, let's see if I can do it.
Oh, there you
Did that
go.
pop up?
Yeah, I did. Thanks.
Okay, no problem. Sometimes two heads are better than one.
Yeah, we're not the
We
most
have we
technical.
have mouse wars. Whose mouse is more powerful? We have a lot of mice in this old farmhouse we're at right now. But anyway, um, so what this is called Impact Health Share, and what it is it's a revolutionary new concept for health insurance. Okay, and so I'm going to make it a little bit bigger here, and see if I can squeeze this over here. Is that better, Mark? Does that make it
Yeah,
a little
that's
bit
better.
bigger?
I can see.
Um, so this is an industry disruptor, much like Uber, much like Airbnb, like Amazon was early on, what do you mean you're going to sell books online? Who would ever do that? So, um, I'm going to go through this real quick, and this is an amazing program. It actually comes out of Michigan. I don't know if you knew this, Mark, but the founder and CEO is from Brighton, Michigan, and there's some reasons why he decided to put this program together. So anyway, I'm going to jump right into it, and here we go.
And anybody listening, it's okay um,
Yeah, you can
to
jump
ask,
right in.
ask questions as we go. Don't be afraid.
Yeah, 100%. And so, um, anyway, so health insurance versus health sharing. It looks like health insurance, sounds like health insurance, but it's not. You can save up to 70% per month. And the deductibles or the primary responsibility amount is 2,500 versus regular health insurance. And this is per household versus some of the other ones have a per person. So it could add up really big. And, another great feature, Mark, is that you don't have to be in a network and you don't have to be a situation where your physician has to refer you and you have to stay in network and you can go anywhere you want. We've got the lowest drug pricing, prescription drug pricing in the marketplace. We have telehealth for free. And another feature is even if a person is not a US citizen, does not have a social security number, we can offer this to them, which is great because everybody needs it. And so the backbone or the direct seller of this is a company called ACN. And basically what happened is they have the ability to partner with major service organizations. And so this is actually kind of neat for real estate investors because if you have properties and depending on what state you're at, you can actually make an override on your bill and which is kind of neat. And so that ties into the whole thing. Let me see here. I'm going to share a different slide. Truths about healthcare. 80% of the country is trying to lower their healthcare costs. 5% of the population responsible for more than 50% of the healthcare. we have an aging population. Over 100 million Americans are in some form of healthcare debt. It's the number one reason for bankruptcy. So, as I may have mentioned, HealthShare has been around for over 40 years. It's a great alternative to health insurance. And it is a fully transparent system, the way they have it set up. They negotiate both the rates for the medical procedures and the pharmacy. And here's a couple of reasons why. It's a solutions to rising healthcare. It's an alternative to health insurance. The power and freedom is put back into the individual's hands, and anybody can do it. And there is no open enrollment time. You can do it at any time. We talked about this a little bit as one of the slides. Pre-existing conditions. Now, this applies for both health share and healthcare. If there's pre-existing conditions, and really the two main ones, Mark, are cancer and heart disease, any type of heart issues. But even though that is the case, they still go ahead and actually would negotiate down on behalf of the client. So, to get a quote is really easy. It's done very differently than normal healthcare. Healthcare in general is done by a person's income level. In this instance, it's done by the age of the person. So anyway, so that's you just click here, you put in your birth date, and you'll be able to find out what you're going to be paying. And so here's an example. A quote for two people, with the oldest person being born in 1999, as low as $260 a month with a $10,000 PRA, primary responsibility amount. So look at that compared to what the individual would be paying for another company. We're not going to say who they are, but it's kind of evident. So, the numbers are easy to justify. We're going to go down. This is what your Impact Health Share card looks like. It like I said, it looks and sounds and feels the same as regular health insurance. And you can see ER and inpatient services, $150. I know my last one I had, Mark, was $650 if I was going to be riding in the ambulance. So definitely there's a big savings there.
Yeah.
Goes through and shows some other bills. What's great about this is typically the bills are paid within 30 days and it's seamless. There are other health share companies out there. One of the main differences is that we accept everybody. You don't have to have a certain, religious affiliation. And in addition to that, you don't have to pay up front. You don't have to pay and then be reimbursed. So that's a big differentiator. And so again, easy to get a quote. We have, message me, email me, and I'll walk you through it. Literally, you can get a quote in about a minute. And, this also has the ability, if you have folks that you want to refer it to, there's a mechanism in place that you can, benefit from it as well. So with that, those are the three programs. And if there's any questions, we can open up the chat. So I'm going to stop the share.
So if I had like a family of 5, then the deductible that I have to meet, that it's not got to be met by each person. It's looked at as the whole family, right?
Right. And we have a friend of ours that I believe has 9 children. So doesn't matter if somebody has 3 in their family or 5, 6, 7, it's the same price at that point. So that's incredible, really. I mean, there's nobody else doing this out there. And I was able to meet in person the CEO and founder of Impact Health in Orlando, Phil Chrysler, a few weeks ago, and was pretty incredible. See, what he did is he got with the former CEO and president of Medishare, which was the largest health share company heretofore. And what they did is they said, you know what, we're going to allow you to repurpose what we have. They have a proprietary algorithm and several patents on the software for this. So nobody else is out there doing this, Mark. It's incredible. Very happy to be sharing this information with folks and help them really make a difference in what they're paying and the service that they're getting.
Yeah, I
So
was thinking to put your contact information up there, but I can't find it now. We're
well,
not
I'm
very
gonna I'll throw it in the chat. I'll throw
yeah,
it in the chat
yeah.
real quick. Um, Maybe you could get
Guys,
to
if you
that.
got questions, please ask on any of the programs we talked about.
I did see a question in the chat. Let me go back to it here.
Doesn't matter.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
we answered that. And so I'm just gonna put my name and 248-60853 and gmail.com. Okay, there you go. So anyway, yeah, feel free to reach out. We've had several people already reach out to us, and we're looking forward to helping anyone that we can in any of the realms that we discussed. So
yeah, and previous meetings like this are up on the YouTube channel I talked about, and a whole lot of other good information on there. So with that, I think we're gonna call the meeting at an
it's a
end.
wrap.
Hey,
It
yeah,
goes in the can. Goes
yeah.
in the can, Mark.
Okay. Thanks everybody for being on. I hope you got some benefit.
Thank you.